Brown Santa was just here, and we got some new goodies today. Let's check this out. This will give you a little bit of an idea in there, maybe, what we got going. On here, got some trays, got some rollers, got a big wrench. Good deal. That is going to be handy. Stoked about that, so now I can take those through holes out of there. This is the big one. This is the one I really wanted to see. What we got in here. Oh yeah. And we got a couple more of those. Now we got this bad boy right here. This is the Creality Ender 3 Pro. Got an awesome project happening with this thing. Let's go check it out. And so here is my problem right now, is all my tools, everything I'm using to work on the boat, it's taking up all this space. You can see the plywood there because I'm in sanding, got the sander, the dust deputy there and everything, and then my nav station's completely covered, and so I need to get some tool storage put together. There's no two ways around it. I need to have the ability to come in here, store tools, put them away, and start getting organized. So that's what we're going to start working on. Is I'm going to set up the Ender 3 right here, and we're going to start using it to build some tool storage. So this is going to be fantastic. I'm really excited to have this because what this means. What, you want to be in the video? Is that it? What's that? You'll go get him? Go get him. What's that? All right, that's enough. You got him. Thank you. Goofy dog. Anyways, so we're going to come in and start printing this stuff up. This is going to be absolutely fantastic because it's going to be so organized, and just being able to come in here and find things when I need them, it is going to be superb. All right, here we go. It looks like she's packaged pretty well. Oh yeah, glorious. Ender 3 manual. Dear customer, thanks for ordering from 2 Auto on Amazon. It's our pleasure to do business with you. Please follow service. Yada yada yada. Well, that's who we got it from. So let's see here. All right, we've got. She's pretty well packed in here. This is good packaging. There is the control. That is important. We will set that to the side over here. And then looks like that is the power supply there. So I'm going to go ahead and dig that power supply out of there. Okay. Definitely got her packed in here good. Oh, there we go. Power supply will set over here, and all the little pieces kind of coming together now. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pop this out of here, and then I'll check back in with you guys. All right, here we are. We've got her all pulled out now. It is going to feel so good to start getting this mess taken care of, but I'm going to go ahead and get this thing put together. There's other videos out there that show the assembly, so I'm not going to go crazy into the assembly. I'm just going to show you guys kind of what we got. We got several parts bags. It comes with the tools to put it together, control panel, power supply, stepper motors. This is part of the gantry. So all these things here looks like a pretty good setup. Just got the uprights on this thing here, and I double-checked these when I put them on. By putting my square on here, and I took the square and I squared everything up to make sure that those were square in line with the frame on the bottom, which hopefully means they're going to wind up parallel with each other. And now what I'm doing is I'm taking another square, speed square, and I'm just checking to make sure, and yeah, there's no gap there, so that looks really good. And then again, no gap on that one. So these extrusions here were machined properly. They're sticking straight up and down. So Ender did a good job cutting those. All right, she is looking like a machine now. That was actually pretty easy to put together, and pretty stoked about it. Now, I did go in and check everything again with the square. When I was putting pieces together, I used the flat edge here to make sure that everything is flush and true. And then I double checked this. I mean, everything in there is nice and square. The machining on this is very good. The only thing I've found that is possibly an issue is the plug that's on the back of this. There's 3 plugs there. I'm not sure which one is the right one. Before I fire this up, I got to hop online and look at that. Because in their instructions, they do not list which plug that has to go to. So that's the only shortfall that I've found of this so far. But I'm pretty excited about it. So I'm going to go get that figured out, and then we'll get this thing fired up and do a test print. Here we go. I just hit the button to print the dog. We'll see if it's going to work for me. It looks, yeah, we got a little string sticking up there. So I don't know if that bed's totally warmed up yet or not. It feels fairly warm. I guess we'll just see, won't we? But we're printing the dog right now, so I'll check back in when she gets a little further along. She's cruising along pretty good now. Pretty happy with how this thing's working. I've just been watching it run here, and I'm just amazed at the surface it's producing. Now, I mean, this is their test file, so they've probably tested and tuned and tweaked on this, and I don't know that my first thing that I print is going to have the same kind of result. But, because I know on these, depending on the settings, everything else, it can change how the surface is going to finish out, but I'm really amazed at what the surface finish this little dog that's printing has. And so we'll have to see how that all comes together. I've got a couple of models I'm working on in the computer. The first thing we're going to do is a sandpaper holder, because I need a way of organizing my sandpaper. I mean, it's just kind of getting everywhere, and so I'm building a tray that I can put all my sandpaper in and keep that all nice, neat, and organized. So that'll be really cool. And then before we jump into that, though, I'm going to go ahead and print a test cube. But we're going to let the dog finish here first, because yeah, you got to have that first model. Here's the filament we're going to use for the next test. Because I mean, there's only so much of this here, so we're going to use this filament for the next test. This is from Hatchbox. It's their orange. It was like 20 bucks for this roll. It wasn't bad at all. It's a kilogram, so 20 bucks a kilogram. Alright, we just finished up the first print here. I'm going to pull this out and see what it takes to get them off there. It'd come out looking pretty good. I'm reasonably happy with that. So there's a little dog. Little nubbin on the tail there. Little nubbin on the top there where it finished. But that's... and the quality on that is really good, actually. And it is... appears to be printed on a raft. But I'm super, super pleased with that finish quality. I mean, that is really good. That's absolutely fantastic, actually. Cool. These are the test cubes that I wound up printing. I mean, everything on there came out pretty good. Printed a superimposed Hello World on the front, and then an engraved test on the back. And that looks really good there. Same on this one. I mean, this is the white filament is what I printed the first one with. And then I just went back and printed it again with the orange. Now, I designed these to be 1 inch by 1 inch. You can see this one here is within 2 thousandths on this dimension. And on this dimension, it is dead nuts accurate. On the height, though, we were just a little bit off. I mean, that's 0.983. That's 22 thousandths of an inch, so that is a significant difference in the height. Oh, about 7 thousandths over on the width, about 6 thousandths over on the length. And again, we are 24 thousandths short on the height. So both of these cubes did come up 22 and 24 thousandths short on the height. So in a longer print, that is going to magnify itself the higher you go. So keep that in mind. So as I'm designing models and doing things there, I'm actually going to have to compensate for that. But that's why these test cube kind of things are important. I've done is I've just put wax paper under the corners here, and so if any epoxy that I put in from the backside spills through this gap, then what that'll do is it'll just get on the wax paper, and then I can just peel it off of there, so no big deal. I just didn't want to get the tape stuck to it, because then you got blue tape on there, so the wax paper will allow that to separate. And so let's go ahead and get this thing glued up. And we've got her all glued up here. I just used some regular West Systems epoxy, and just use Q-tips to smear it down in the grooves, smear it in the backside, and hopefully that'll be enough to make this thing hold, is what I'm thinking. And then we're just going to let it cure now. Now there is the sandpaper holder. I am super pleased. This is just the first project in getting all this cleaned up here, and that is just going to help me get so organized. Anytime I have to go do some sanding now and go directly in there, find what I need. I did this all the way down to, this one here is 60 grit. I've got enough room in here to go in the proper steps all the way up. This is 220 here, this would be 280 and then 320. I just don't have any 280 or 320 right now, but I included them just in case, so as I get into projects where I need those, I've got the place to put them. This tray is fantastic. I can just pick this up now, carry it with me where I need to go when I'm working on these things. So it just, first step in organization, absolutely fantastic. Next time on the Renegade Show, we get back into working on the bathroom, and I talk about the sanding setup that we're using to refinish the bottom.